Welcome to the Sunday worship at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Vero Beach. We are home of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. Whether you are young or old, gay or straight, black or white, or some beautiful shade of brown, whether you're on top of the world or burdened by all the worries in the world, whether you are gathered here in person or joining us via technology from somewhere out there in cyberspace, we embrace you as you are. If you are visiting for the first time, we invite you to join us for coffee hour after the service. Follow the crowd to the fellowship hall that way. We ask that you take a red mug so that we can identify you as our guest and give you a warm UU welcome. I would like to introduce myself as Angela Love. My pronouns are she and hers. I am a middle-aged woman in a black dress and glasses. And I come to UU from a weird, twisted history, growing up Pentecostal from a long line of Pentecostals, going to Messiah College, Bible College, wandering down to Miami, and finding UU, a faith where all are welcome. I'd like for everyone to silence their phones and look in your order of service to see what else is coming up at UUFVB. I would like to tell you about one event that we have coming up next Sunday, September 21st at 3 p.m. We have the U.S. Air Force Band of the West Brass Quintet is going to be here, and they are going to be featuring patriotic, classical, and contemporary music, and it is free admission, so I invite all of you to attend. Thank you.
And the choir has an announcement as well.
We love singing in the choir, folk jazz hymns and Broadway. Rehearsal on Wednesdays, September till May. Take off for the summer holiday. And so we're offering this special chance for singers from 9 to 86. No need to read music, just to match pitch. Come and join us at To the Mix.
Now the intro? Now the intro, right? Okay.
To be gay or straight is not a choice. Only we can hear our inner voice. We are all part of the human race. Everyone is one.
Oh, okay, it's on. Okay. You're going to burn yourself. It's on. Oh, okay. It takes community to light a chalice. Okay. It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of our services and to say some words of meaning as we do so. So if you would, join me in these words. We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits. We choose to journey together, taking risks, opening up, making mistakes, paying attention, asking questions, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves.
Our opening hymn is called Love Astounding. These are new words, but I think many of you will recognize this tune. Please rise as you are willing and able.
Astounding, love confounding, limits fearful, minds impose, love renewing, love pursuing, every want until it knows, love's transforming, healing goodness, love's abiding, gentle grace, love's endurance, love's assurance, love's consoling, strong embrace, love receiving, love believing, we rejoice with thanks and song, faith regaining, hope proclaiming, love has taught us we belong, safe within love's tender keeping, safe from fear's persistent call, love defending, love unending, love of God enfolding all.
Now we're going to have the time for all ages. This is the tale of two villagers and the woven tapestry. Finn in this story uses the pronouns they, them, and their. Once upon a time, nestled in a valley between rolling hills, lived two villagers, Alara and Finn. Alara lived in a small, close-knit community where everyone knew each other, and they shared the bounty of their gardens and the warmth of their hearths. Finn, however, was a newcomer who had arrived seeking a place to call home, but they was shy and unsure how to approach the villagers. One day, the village decided to weave a great tapestry to represent the community. Each villager contributed a thread of their own, creating a colorful and intricate design. Alara, as one of the most respected weavers, was initially hesitant when Finn approached, holding a simple, uncolored thread. She saw their thread as plain and perhaps not worthy of the vibrant creation. However, the village elder, wise and full of compassion, noticed Alara's hesitation. He said to her, "Alara, the strength of our tapestry lies not in the brightness of each thread, but in the way they are woven together. Every thread, no matter how simple it may seem, contributes to the whole. To widen our circle is to strengthen our bond." Inspired by the elder's words, Alara welcomed Finn and their thread. She helped them weave it into the tapestry, placing it beside a brilliant red thread and a shimmering gold thread. As the tapestry grew, the villagers saw how Finn's simple thread, when interwoven with the others, added depth and texture, enhancing the beauty of the whole. Finn, feeling included and valued, shared their knowledge of cultivating new herbs, enriching the village's gardens, and bringing new flavors to their meals. The villagers were finally able to see Finn's thread, not as something strange, but as something that could enrich the community. Sometimes it can be hard to welcome and make room for things or people that are different. This story is a good reminder about how we sometimes can't fully recognize and welcome what others value and enjoy because we are too focused on what we personally value and enjoy. It reminds us that true strength and richness comes from welcoming everyone into our circle, creating a tapestry of life that is vibrant and whole. And now we're going to sing the children out.
Every week, there are new people among us, or people that you have never met before. So this morning, as we greet one another, look for someone you don't know or don't know well, and say good morning and introduce yourself. Go ahead. Before we begin our stones and water ritual this morning, I just, this week has been a challenging week for a lot of people, myself included, with our country being so divided and so much in the way of political violence and death going on. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to preach about it in a few weeks, but I just wanted to offer a moment of silence where we can try to be more grounded and aware of the love and generosity in our hearts as we face whatever we have to face out there in the world. So I invite you now, just for a moment, to look within and to feel the people around you and know that love is still with us. Love is still with us, and there is more love in this world than we know. Amen. So, this is a time when we acknowledge that we each come together with our own joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. Before us is water, the very sustenance of life. Water can buoy us up, nourish, cleanse, and replenish us. It is the source of life, which creates beauty in the very making of tears. This community, like water, is part of the sustenance of our lives, especially when we remember our sacred obligation to buoy each other up in times of sadness, to nourish one another in times of want, to cleanse one another with acts of kindness and generosity, and to replenish one another when our hearts are weary and worn. Today, with this water, I remind us visually of our sacred obligation to the greater whole. And so I add salt to our water for the tears that have fallen this last week. May we remember that there are those among us who are in pain. So let us be tender with one another, for we know not what is in the silent sanctuary of one another's hearts. And I add some flowers to remind us of the beauty and joy that surrounds us in our lives, that floats on the surface of many of our faces and enlivens our spirits. In a moment, I will invite those who find this ritual meaningful to come forward and place a pebble or pebbles in our collective bowls. But for those of you who wish, I'm happy to add a stone for you if you raise your hand. Now those who wish may come forward. May all that we offer one another keep us connected and blessed within this hour and the week ahead. May it be so. Amen.
This is the time in our service where we express our gratitude and commitment by sharing our financial resources. To contribute to the fellowship, please place your offering in an envelope found in the back of the pews, or donate to UUFEB by clicking on the QR code with your phone, which you can also find in your program. Today is the Sharing of Sustenance Sunday, one of our social justice outreach efforts. On the second Sunday of each month, the loose cash you place in the offering basket supports both the food pantry of Indian River County and our fellowship's monthly meals for persons in transitional housing. The non-perishable foods and toiletries you may have brought today are delivered to the Indian River Food Pantry, as well as most of the loose cash offering. The loose cash offering also finances meals for persons in transitional housing. Our fellowship's meals teams prepares and deliver meals to 3 transitional housing programs each month: Camp Haven, James Arthur Court, and Naomi's Place. These agencies provide formerly homeless persons with interim housing. As we now receive the offering, let's do so generously and gratefully.
So, in just a moment, we're going to move into our time of prayer or meditation. But we're going to do things a little differently this morning. What I'm going to ask you to do, or invite you to do, is to pair off with somebody in the congregation. It can be anybody you choose. Okay, you can pair off with somebody. If you don't want to participate, that's okay. Just when somebody asks you if you want to pair up, just say, I'm not going to do that, or no thank you, or whatever you'd like. Be nice. But when you are ready, I will, there you go. I will tell you a little bit more about what we're going to do today. Okay, so you got to be close enough to him to talk to him. So there you go. Okay. What I'd like you to start with is discuss with your partner who is going to offer the prayer first, because you're each going to offer each other a prayer. So who's going to go first? Make that decision. Okay? Okay. All right. So I'm going to say the prayer a line at a time, and I'm also going to project the prayer up here in case you forget what I say. So the person that's going to start is going to offer the prayer one line at a time until we finish the prayer. It's going to be, 15 lines or something. And then when that's done, you'll switch. And the other person will offer you the prayer. Okay? We got it? So as you say the prayer to the other person, look at them, okay, as you offer it to them. All right, here we go. Let us enter into a time of prayer or meditation. Are you ready? Say to your partner, for this one moment, know only that you are loved, that you are safe and whole and loved. Know that you belong here among us. And here upon this earth in your body. However tired or broken your heart may be, whatever fear, disappointment, anger you carry, for this hour, know you are not alone. Feel the presence of us surrounding you. We are breathing beside you and with you. Discovering the way our chests rise and fall. Together in harmony and in hope. We claim here a resilient freedom. The choice for love, for light. To live with joy and gratitude and praise. As a form of resistance. Blessed be. Amen. Okay, I'm going to invite you now to just take a deep breath. Let whatever you experienced kind of settle. Those of you who spoke and those of you who received, notice how that felt for you or what you experienced. And now we'll switch. For this one moment, know only that you are loved, that you are safe and whole and loved. Know that you belong here among us and here upon this earth in your body. however tired or broken your heart may be, whatever fear, disappointment, anger you carry. For this hour, know you are not alone. Feel the presence of us surrounding you. We are breathing beside you and with you. Discovering the way our chests rise and fall. Together in harmony and in hope. We claim here a resilient freedom. The choice for love, for light. To live with joy and gratitude and praise as a form of resistance. Blessed be and amen. Now I invite you to take another slow, deep breath and notice what happened for you during that time, what stirred within you, how it felt for you. We have offered one another a prayer of blessing, prayer of love, a prayer of community. And whether we say this or not all the time, I believe what we said this morning for each other is how we feel for one another every time we gather here.
Good morning. Our anthem today is entitled Real Men, and it's by Joe Jackson, who was a very popular artist back in the 80s. He was a bisexual man. And this song was pretty out there for its time. Some of the words are very provocative. Tom cleared this. It's okay if I disclose why you two are singing?
Yes.
I asked specifically Michael Byrne, and Ash Lang to sing the solos in here because they are members of the LGBTQ community for authenticity. And I asked Jonna to join us back with the choir as well for this. There is a specific line in here that even refers to Stonewall. The line is, and there's women running past you now while you just drag your feet. So it's a little artistic way of saying that about the drag women at Stonewall. So this is also part of Tom's charge to me to bring in different music. Here we go.
Take your mind back, I don't know when. Sometimes when it always seems to be just us and them. Girls that wore pink and boys that wore blue. Boys that always grew up better men than me and you. What's a man now? What's a man mean? Is he rough or is he rugged? Is he cultural and clean? Now it's all changed, it's got to change more. Cause we think it's getting better, but nobody's really sure. And so See the nice boys dancing in pairs, golden earrings, golden tin, and blow wave in their hair. Sure, they're all straight, straight as a line. All the gays are macho, can't you see their leather shine? You don't want to sound dumb, don't want to offend, so don't call me a faggot, not unless you are a friend. And if you're tall and handsome and strong, you can wear the uniform and I could play along. And so it goes round again, but now and then we wonder who the real men are.
Time to get scared, time to change plan. Don't know how to treat a lady, don't know how to be a man. It's time to admit what you call defeat, 'cause there's women running past you now and you just drag your feet. Man makes a gun, man goes to war. Man can kill and man can drink and man can take a whore. Kill all the blacks, kill all the reds. If there's war between the sexes, then there'll be no people left.
And so it goes round again, but now and then we wonder who the real men are.
About 10 years ago, a member of a congregation I was serving came to me in distress. Let's call her Karen. Karen was a very liberal person, spiritually and politically. She was an activist, and I had spent time with her as we formed a circle around the local mosque in solidarity with the Islamic community. She had attended rallies in support of the LGBTQ+ community and worked on the congregation's mentoring program for Black youth. She was the very image of a Unitarian Universalist. Then her son, in his senior year of high school, just before going off to college, came out as gender fluid. And he wanted to use the pronouns she and they. And Karen found herself experiencing unexpected, profound grief over losing her son. I share this story with you because we all have feelings about what genders are and what they mean. We're invested in terms like son and daughter, husband and wife, man and woman, masculine and feminine. We're comfortable with them. We understand them. Maybe. When I started officiating same-sex marriages well over 20 years ago, the couples and I reflected deeply on what language to use in the ceremonies. Bride and bride, groom and groom, best person, maid of honor, matron of honor, man of honor. I encouraged each to reflect on what words held meaning for them and not to get caught up in the traditional language if it didn't feel right. And when I officiated a wedding with a couple where one partner was gender fluid, I wasn't sure what language to suggest and really encouraged them to think about it. What meant, meaning, what was meaningful to them. And to my surprise, they still wanted to use their traditional bride and groom language. All of this is complicated these days. Recently, I and members of our welcoming congregation team, the group here who supports the LGBTQ community within and beyond these walls, we attended an online workshop put on by the Unitarian Universalist Association called Beyond the Binary. The purpose of the workshop was to better understand the issues facing the transgender community. And one of the classes that caught my attention had to do with a transgender male discussing what masculinity was. He brought a unique perspective. How does someone who is transitioning to becoming a male struggle to make sense of what masculinity is in this culture? That particular speaker mentioned a book. The book is No One Taught Me How to Be a Man: What a Trans Man's Experience Reveals About Masculinity, by Father Shannon T.L. Kearns. Kearns is a transgender man in an old Catholic church. That's not the Roman Catholic, by the way. He's an ordained priest who has and is living out a journey as a voice for the LGBTQ Christian community for evolution, transition, and change. Kearns wrote in the beginning of his book, "As a transgender man, no one taught me how to be a man. I wasn't raised as a man, nor was I indoctrinated into masculine spaces. When I figured out my own maleness, I had to make a masculine space for myself. My sense," he goes on, "from talking to other men and in extensively studying and researching masculinity, is that even those who are raised as men feel they too had a hard time figuring out what it was to be a man. This struggle to figure out what it means to be a man and how to feel like you're enough gets increasingly complex as our world changes rapidly. We continue to look for models to help us sort out how to be in this world. As I read his book, many thoughts and memories came to me. I reflected on my own understanding of what masculinity meant to me and where I got that meaning. Of course, first I got it from my father, who modeled a male who drank too much, kept his emotions to himself. The only exception to those emotions that he could express were anger and rage. I learned a man is the wage earner, the barbecuer, the boater and fisherman, the repairman. I learned a man is expected to work 50 or 60 hours a week, whatever it took to support his family. I learned that a man was supposed to be an expert on cars and car repairs. And at least from my father, I guess, a man is supposed to buy a new car every year. And I always expected, and the rest of my family always expected, that if we needed any car expertise, we must go to him. I learned a man's esteem is tied up with his ability to excel at his profession. I learned a man gets to smoke a pipe in the house or in the car, wherever, regardless of how sick the rest of us got from the smell. And I learned that power and money are one of the most important things to being a man. And to be honest, I grew up in a trad house. This is my mom. And so my understanding of masculinity and femininity were very traditional. My mom stayed home, cooked meals, cleaned the house. She took care of us, her boys. She was more emotionally expressive and took a great deal of care with her dress and her look to always be beautiful. Her appearance was very important to her. And as I was growing up, if she wanted to take a part-time job or an art class or whatever, she could. It wouldn't really make any difference to the financial stability of the home. She did it just because she was bored. I didn't really start reflecting on what it meant for me to be a man until I was in college. And while I knew I wanted to be different from my father, it wasn't until much later in life when Martha and I had our two boys, that's them in the sort of red shirts, that I wondered about what modeling masculinity really meant. Did I really know what I wanted to model or tell my sons about what it means to be a man? All I can tell you is I tried to be more compassionate, more kind, tried to model moderation in all things. But I also inadvertently modeled overworking, being overly concerned about money, and embracing power. These days, I try to be very aware of my traditional bias about sex roles and genders. And I'm lucky to have many LGBTQ friends, transgender friends, gender fluid friends, and I'm grateful for their patience with me when I mess up with pronouns or any number of different things. Thanks to these relationships, I'm still evaluating and reflecting on what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a little of both, or neither, some, or all the time. Though I have to admit I am unsure what holding a masculine or feminine space means in today's society. First time I met a gender fluid person was at a workshop a little over 10 years ago. Youth Outlook, a nonprofit that celebrates and empowers and advocates for the LGBTQ plus youth, hosted the workshop. They, Youth Outlook, provide support groups for the LGBTQ plus youth at the church that I serve. They still do. That's DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church. This workshop introduced me to pronouns and to gender fluidity. And while, frankly, my awareness of these issues faced by the trans and gender fluid community was extremely shallow, I had no idea. I'd only met, by that time, one transgender person at chess club. I used to play chess, so I still do. But anyway, she used to beat me all the time. She was fabulous. And I was pretty much unaware of the issues that she was facing and that all the gender fluid community faced at that time. What I have learned over the past 10 years or so is that gender fluid refers to a person whose gender identity is not fixed and can change over time or depending on the situation. This means their identity can fluctuate between genders such as male, female, both, neither. They may or may not present with gendered characteristics. And I believe many of us know that gender fluidity is an internal process, a personal identity. It is not just about changing clothes or behavior. I've chosen to educate myself on gender fluidity and on what non-binary means. Non-binary is an umbrella term that a person may use if their gender identity exists outside the gender binary of male, female, or masculine, feminine. As many of you may have heard, the present administration in Washington and Florida, and many socially conservative people, only acknowledge two genders. There's just male and female. People can be one or the other. While the term gender fluid and non-binary go back to the 1990s, gender fluidity has a long global history, with many indigenous and ancient cultures recognizing and respecting more than two genders long before the concept was formalized in Western societies. Examples such as the Two-Spirit people in North America, Ijara in India, the Mushe in Mexico, whose gender identities were integral to their communities and cultures. The rigid gender binary prevalent in many Western cultures today was largely enforced through colonization and a refusal to accept diverse gender expressions. So, my friends, do I have for you today a concrete answer to what it means to be masculine or feminine? No, I do not. How can I pin a concrete answer onto something that is so fluid, that it's constantly changing? I've come to believe we live and have lived in a world that is non-binary, whether our Western culture affirms it or not. But here's an answer I can give you. Living in this world, if we look deep within ourselves and look deeper into what is beyond our narrow lives, is complicated. I tell this to people all the time. It's complicated. Answers to big questions like gender or just existence are not binary. There is no absolute right or wrong, good or evil, masculine, feminine. There just isn't. And as we explore who we are, what our purpose in life is, what our experiences mean to us, the simple answer is rarely a complete or accurate answer. And my friends, people, individual people, and groups of people cannot be understood in simple terms. So when you meet a new person, here, in this congregation or out in the world, resist boxing them in with your biases. We all have them. Try not to assume that you know all about them and understand them by how they're dressed or how they cut their hair. Be open to how they wish to be named, what pronouns they wish to use, even if they change it from one time to the next. Consider using terms that encompass all genders rather than two, like children rather than boys and girls, or people rather than women or men. And I hope one day we put signs on all of our bathrooms that designate that our bathrooms are welcoming to whatever gender a person identifies, though I believe we do that informally now. And I encourage you to consider attending programming put on or supported by the Welcoming Congregation Group to learn more, to open your heart more, to understand the world and all its complexity a little better. My friends, really know that you are loved here. Whoever you are, however you are, whatever biological sex, gender identity, gender expression you choose, whatever sexual orientation, whether you're cisgender or transgender, whether you cross-dress or dress in drag, are queer gender, third gender, gender fluid, two-spirit, gender non-conforming, intersex, in transition, or just coming out. You are loved here. And while we may not always be perfect in understanding all of who you are, we're willing. Just tell us. We'll try. We'll do the best that we can to see you in all of your complexity. And please know that there is a place for each and all of you here. Amen.
All right, another new song. Our final hymn is a new hymn, and it is very appropriate for this topic, and it is a new tune too. So Elisa is going to play it through. It's not too difficult, so we're going to bring this one to you because it, like I said, the words are just so perfect. So listen to it the first time through, and then you can join us. Please rise as you're willing and able.
As colors in the sky, we move and blend in love. A touch of this, a mix, a match, as gifts from heaven above. Our genders may seem fixed, but even these may change as we find beauty in between that may at first seem strange. Our bodies may not match the way we feel inside, but we can change, transform, and find your love still deep and wide. So if we break the mold, traditions put in place, let us with courage live our lives with kindness, love, and grace.
As we open our hearts to those with us and those outside these walls, may we remember the way can often be hard, but take courage. For deep down there is another more important truth. You are not alone. We are with you on the journey. Amen.